Gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie. Ain't nobody gangsta party. 421, man. 421, man.
What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 5-3. Man, I'm back again. Man, we going on along. We moving on along. We swinging on along. We doing our thing. First off, before I even get into what I'm finna get into with, I was reading some comments. Listen, this to the people that been jumping in my comments lately saying stuff like no Diddy or pause. I don't know what pause mean. I really don't know what the no Diddy statements mean. I don't know. But from what I garner, it got something to do with some type of gay stuff, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. Look, man, I'm 60 years old. The way y'all mind think, my mind don't think like that. In this day and age, man, America done messed so many of y'all up that everything is what they call, I guess, what they be saying, zesty or spicy or I guess suspect or what, Diddy or whatever these little funny things. Man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know nothing about all that. Don't care nothing about all that. I didn't grow up in that age. You people out there are growing up in this age. So therefore, everything y'all see is got to be about some gay stuff. Man, y'all need to miss me with that, homie. If everything on your mind or everything you read makes you think of gay stuff, then what y'all need to do is probably look at yourselves. You might need to take a deep look at yourselves and figure out what's going on within you. Find out what you feel about your own sexuality. But miss me with it, man, cause you know, whatever the title of the video is, homie, that's what it is. And if my titles make y'all feel some type of way, make your booty itch or something, then that's something within y'allselves y'all gonna have to deal with. You feel me? So boom, that's on that one. But anyway, to what I'm finna talk about, show y'all. I tell y'all all the time about Birmingham, Alabama, where I live. And I keep telling y'all, very dangerous place. But now a lot of people don't think that or don't realize that. They're caught up in this misconception that this what Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. Well, whatever dream he had, it turned into a nightmare when you talk about Alabama, especially Birmingham. Ain't no more dreaming. Folks going through nightmares here. This is a very dangerous place. I keep telling y'all that. A lot of my homeboys back in LA, they be asking me, you know, dang, cuz, man, we met too, man. Were you out there, man? When you coming back? I say, homie, me personally, I'm cool. I like where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm built for it. You know, a lot of people ain't built for it. But I tell a lot of the homies be like, cuz we finna come out here and set up shop. We finna do this, do that. Man, we been them country boys this, them country boys that, and wham. Man, listen, homie. True enough, yeah, I'm from South Central LA. And true enough, I know the violence level in South Central LA. Whole different ball of wax, man. It's 2024, man. It's not the 1980s no more. Folks done caught up. I don't care what state you from, if you have in your mind that you finna come to Alabama, especially Birmingham, and do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it and all that, partner, you gonna get a rude awakening. You're going to get a very rude awakening because you won't make it home. If you come with that attitude, you will not make it home. 5 of y'all get here, probably 3 of y'all might be going back. The other 2, They might be going back, but it'll be in a black bag. You know, Birmingham ain't nothing to play with. I mean, nothing to play with. They got everything that everybody else got. They do everything that everybody else does, and and they do it a little bit more. Y'all know the gun laws in Alabama. It's an open carry state. Open carry state. Everybody walking around with guns hanging out their pockets, with the extended clips, choppers, and all that. Man, they are gunning each other down a mile a minute. It don't care nothing about it. Don't care nothing about the police. Don't care nothing about none of that. Cause the police don't care. I'm telling you what I know. Man, the police finna go that way. Period. Cause you gotta look at 9 times, and this is a black city. So the majority of the police black. And the majority of the police are raised in the same areas that these dudes that's doing all this killing and shooting and going on are raised in too. So they partners. They don't give a dang. They want they check. And they gone. They out of here. You know, they're going to do their 12 hours and get their check once every 2 weeks. And that's it. They want to live to make it home. Because messing with these fools in Birmingham, these youngsters, they not going to live to make it home. I'm talking about the police. And they don't want none of that smoke. Man, go ahead on. Whatever y'all doing, that's on y'all. Just leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? We riding around because they say this we got to do to get a check. You know? Dudes don't care nothing about nothing. Why you think if you go to First 48, you can go to First 48 and go back years of First 48, and there's no city that's been on First 48 more than Birmingham, Alabama. And it's a reason. Cause they knocking heads off, y'all. Literally knocking heads off. For real. You youngsters don't care nothing about nothing, man. Period. Period. So, you know, if you in one of them places like LA, Detroit, Chicago, Houston, St. Louis, or wherever all these old big cities at that, you know what I'm saying, got a high murder rate. If when Birmingham, the South, Alabama comes to your mind, if you think it ain't nothing but horses, cows, and dudes with big hats on, you're fooling yourself. Come on out here and see. Come on out here and see for yourself. I guarantee that these boys out here will change your mind. Because they not playing the radio with nobody. They don't care nothing about where you from. Period. Because you from a bigger city, because you from a bigger state, that don't impress these boys out here, man. Period. If anything, it's going to piss them off. For real. Because they don't care nothing about that. For real. Look, I'm gonna let y'all check this out. This is a little piece of clip from another individual's perspective that they did. Man, y'all check this out. When I tell y'all, you can go Google it, and it'll tell you that Birmingham, Alabama is the third most dangerous city in the United States. Google it, pull it up. Some places are gonna say it's the first, but these boys ain't playing, man. Yeah, y'all just check it out for yourself, man. Just listen to the whole thing, man. And you know, there it is there.
Birmingham, Alabama, a hub for drug distribution. This city is so dangerous that you don't even have to be involved in criminal activities. Just driving into the wrong neighborhood can get you shot up, Swiss cheesed up, simply because they're not going to take chances. If you enter the wrong neighborhood, they'll shoot first and ask questions later. The murder rate in Birmingham, Alabama is about 4 times higher than Chicago, Illinois. And because it has a smaller population, you don't see it in the national rankings. But if Birmingham had a larger population, its murder rate would be higher than St. Louis and Detroit. Birmingham is a city that's literally falling apart. In many ways, you can say that Birmingham really is the most dangerous city in the United States. And this city isn't about marking up gang territory with graffiti or wearing a specific color. It's straight up neighborhood versus neighborhood, opposition versus opposition, and the numbers don't lie. It's the deadliest city in America. When you mention gang culture,
Deadliest city in America.
California comes to mind. However, California can't compete with the murders in Birmingham Birmingham's murder rate is 4 to 5 times higher than California's worst cities, like Oakland or San Bernardino. These cities' murder rates are only a fraction of Birmingham's, which means that despite California having a reputation for having the worst gang problem in the United States, it's actually Birmingham where most of the gang murders are taking place.
Birmingham,
Going down the
Alabama.
wrong street in Birmingham, Alabama can get you shot up, no questions asked, shoot first, ask questions later, because the city is so dangerous, there's no time to react, there's no time to question, it just gets to the business. Gang culture is a massive percentage of the violence that takes place in Birmingham, Alabama. Despite the city being more than 80% African American today, the minority, the white population, takes home 4 times more income than the blacks. So even though the population in Birmingham is predominantly black, the top earning income people are all white, and all of the money that's generated in Birmingham leaves every day to the suburbs in adjacent Shelby County, which is the richest county in Alabama by income. And many years back, it had a higher income than any other county in Florida, for example, which goes to show that there actually is a lot of money in the Birmingham metropolitan area. It just isn't in the city limits of Birmingham, where the black population lives. Just like Detroit was once a great American city, Birmingham in its day was a great American city, but today it lies abandoned, dangerous, and quite frankly, segregated, with all of the prosperity being on the other side of that mountain that's in front of us. That mountain separates the white people from the black people. On one side, you have some of the most beautiful, richest neighborhoods in Alabama, and on the other side, you have the city of Birmingham, the most dangerous city in the country.
Dangerous
The most dangerous
city.
mid-sized city in the country by murder rate is adjacent to one of the most beautiful places in the South, Shelby County, suburbs like Homewood. Birmingham also has one of the largest concentrations of public government housing in the United States, and these government housing complexes many times beef with one another, and that's a huge source of the violence as well. Entering one of these complexes at night is extraordinarily dangerous. They're hubs for drug transactions, gang activity, and anyone who enters into these places and is not familiar is quite literally risking their lives. Many times these projects are going to have their own surveillance to make sure that they scope out anybody that enters these communities. So like on this video where I'm driving around, at some point a vehicle is going to follow you, and they're going to find out exactly who you are, and if they think you're a threat, chances are you're going to be dead before you get a chance to escape. Law enforcement is fairly ineffective. Criminals are not afraid to hurt you in Birmingham. Chances are, if you're in the wrong place, that's enough for law enforcement to feel like they have no reason to investigate any further. And despite the fact that Birmingham is one of the most dangerous cities in the country, law enforcement is not interested in going after the gang members. So as long as they're hurting immigrants and other black people, the police in Alabama, as long as they don't hurt white people, that's where they can't go. As long as they're hurting each other, law enforcement in Alabama is happy letting them all kill each other, because at the end of the day, one less black person is exactly what the state of Alabama wants. So if they're killing each other, all the better for them. And that's really what emboldens criminals in Alabama, that law enforcement isn't going after them. Law enforcement's glad they're all killing each other. I remember talking to a friend in Alabama and asking him, why do you hate me so much? Why do people here in Alabama hate me so much for being an outsider? And he told me, Jose, we don't even love each other. How can we love somebody else? You'll find that in Birmingham, Alabama, despite all the crime going on, law enforcement is busy doing DUI checkpoints and pulling people over around Hispanic areas to see if they can catch an illegal, or if they can catch somebody who's from another country and harass them. You would think with all the murders and crimes, law enforcement would be focusing on that, but they're not. They're solely focused on harassing minority communities. So if you're driving around Birmingham at night, you'll just see law enforcement profiling people who look like they're not from Alabama. It's crazy. You're driving through Birmingham at night, and just about the only areas where you're going to see law enforcement is in the areas where they could catch a Hispanic or somebody coming back from work. And quite simply, most cops know who the real criminals are, and they're not going to risk their life for a paycheck going after these real hardcore criminals. They're going to go after small street level crime, which means that the real criminals have complete free reign in Birmingham, which explains why it's just a dangerous city, because if nobody's going after the criminals, that's why they feel like they have free reign. That's why they commit so many crimes, because the cops are too afraid to go after them or too busy carrying out their personal agendas of going after the immigrants that they hate. And they really are targeting minorities in Birmingham. Even if you are a tourist just driving through the city, if you are not from Alabama, if you don't look like you're from Alabama, the gangs are going to target you because they know that law enforcement is not going to be interested in investigating it. Gangs and criminals here operate with complete immunity. Alright guys, those are the top 10 worst cities in Alabama for murder rate for the whole entire state, including its rural communities, is higher than Oakland, California, and San Bernardino, the most dangerous cities in California, which means that even small towns and rural areas in Alabama can be very dangerous. Right after Louisiana and Mississippi, Alabama is the third most dangerous state in the country, and undoubtedly organized crime plays a huge role into making Alabama a horrible place to live. Even scarier is the notion that government agencies, law enforcement, and the government of the state is also complicit in criminal activity. The state is known as the most corrupt state in the country. Despite it being a very easy state to make a living, most people will not move to Alabama despite its affordability because they know it's a dangerous place to be. And any money that you accumulate or anything that becomes yours can easily be taken from you via crime, intimidation, or extortion. You cannot deny the analytical information. Alabama is the third most dangerous state. It has the #1 highest murder rate of any large city, Birmingham. These analytics are all conclusive. The state of Alabama also has the worst prison system in the entire country. The horror stories of inmates being killed in Alabama's prisons have become the headline of every night news. Just this week, I saw 3 individual incidents of inmates dying in Alabama. One story you may have heard on the news about an inmate who had his heart disappear. I believe he was serving 99 years for a robbery. You just don't get 99 years for a robbery in most states. And you know, this hard-handed approach on crime doesn't work either. The states that have the hardest, harshest criminal systems, like Alabama and Louisiana, also happen to have the worst crime of all states, which means that the legal system, the courts, and the judicial system, the prison system in Alabama is broken. It's dysfunctional. There's even a case where inmates were released to commit murders. They're actually letting the inmates out on the streets to commit murders. How can law enforcement find out who the killers are when many times the killers are supposed to be in prison, so they're not even suspects? Living in Alabama for a year was the most terrifying year of my life, and the things that I saw in Alabama in just 1 year were some of the most disgusting and disturbing things I've seen my entire life. And gang violence was at the top of the reasons I hated living in Alabama. They were constantly victimizing you, looking for opportunities to rob you, and when you contacted law enforcement, it seems like law enforcement was more scary than the actual criminals that rob you. I am so glad that I was able to escape this nightmare called Alabama alive. And today, I spent a lot of the time on my channel warning people about the state of Alabama so they don't have to live the nightmare that I lived. There are nightmares waiting for you that you're not even aware of. Alabama is definitely a gang-infected state, and a city like Birmingham is very deceitful. You drive through the city and it looks quiet and peaceful, but trust me, the numbers don't lie. Don't let that fool you. Birmingham is a very dangerous city. I want to thank all my subscribers that are watching today's video from Alabama.
Now there it is there, man. You heard it for yourself. You can see it. This individual has had a a very bad experience dealing with Birmingham, Alabama. And of course, you probably could tell he was a Hispanic individual. In the last 3-4 years, the Hispanic population in Birmingham is getting very, very large, very, very large compared to what it was when I first came out here. When I first came out here, it was non-existent. When I tell you non-existent, my crime partner on my case was a Mexican. They didn't even know what he was. They classified him as white. That's just how non-existent Mexicans was in Alabama. But now they coming. Whew, the boy they coming. But victims. Like I say, it's like how South Central used to be back in the 70s and early 80s. They are seen as opportunity to rob and do something too. You know what I'm saying? These youngsters out here, they gonna take it. They gonna take it from whoever they want to see, and just so happens, here they come with all this so hard working and you know what I'm saying, and grouping up. Well, the youngsters out here, man, young black boys out here, man, they ain't having it, they ain't hearing it, none of that. They coming to get it, point blank. But it is what it is, was what it was, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Very dangerous, very dangerous. And like I tell you, the gang, you know what I'm saying, the gang activity is high, murder rate is high, robbery rate is very high. The women out here are off the chain. Man, listen, you have never been cussed out for real unless you come out here and get cussed out by one of these females in Birmingham. I had some homies come out here one time, and they out here, they kicking it, you know what I'm saying? I got them showing them around. And of course, they messing with, they got some big booty women out here, big, huge booty women. They got some pretty girls out here too. And the homies, they want to get involved. So I had to sit one of my homies down. I tell him, I say, look, we don't use that bitch word like that in Cali. That's a very expensive. That's a very not expensive, but a very disrespectful word to us. But now out here, you know what I'm saying? It's like saying what's up. And I told the homie, I said, man, look, the first time you get in an argument with her, she gonna cuss you. She gonna call you a B, homie. She gonna call you a B. Man, it wasn't 4 days, 3, 4, 5 days later. Man, he like, you wasn't lying, man. We got to argue, man. And man, I told you, cuz. And she doesn't even realize how bad she disrespecting you, homie. But that's just them. But anyway, talk bad to a man. Ooh, they talk bad to a man out here. But anyway, it is what it is. But like I tell you, I love it out here though. I love Birmingham. I really do. I really do. But it's dangerous. It's dangerous. You're going to be out here, homie, play by the rules. That's all I'm telling you. Peace.